Congressman, let me ask you a question. Can Congress, broadly speaking, restrict abortion, and specifically so the shipment of abortion pills by mail?
Not only Congress should, Congress should do so. There's no more important issue, certainly, than the issue of life and death as it applies to abortion. And you think about what is government's number one responsibility to protect the safety and security of its citizens, including unborn life in the womb. If we're not looking out for them, who is going to be? But when many times it's been misquoted or misunderstood or misrepresented what happened with the Dobbs decision. I've had many conservative friends in Washington and back in my home state of Virginia say that, oh, the Supreme Court turned it over to the states. They turned it over to the state representatives. They took it away from Congress. That is not true. If you read the Dobbs decision, it turned it over to the people and the states, which means they're elected representatives in Washington and in their respective states. So it doesn't require Congress to regulate abortion, but it does give Congress, again, the rightful ability to do that. And it's very concerning, quite frankly, that some of my friends in Congress who were signing on to the Life at Conception Act with me pre-Dobbs decision, many of them became hyper-federalist all of a sudden after Dobbs decision. I felt very lonely as we continued to push for the Life at Conception Act and for a discharge petition to that effect last term. So we ought to continue to unashamedly, unapologetically fight for that. And by the way, the timing of this, we just came off of an election in Virginia, and the narrative now is, oh, abortion's a loser. We got to surrender on abortion. We got to give in on abortion. We got to be like the Democrats on abortion. Then maybe we can win elections. I would argue, what's the point of winning elections if you're not going to fight for life? But beyond that, what was Virginia's position? What was the state of Virginia's political leaders' position on abortion? We're okay with 94% of abortions because we want a 15-week ban, and the Democrats, the other side, wants 100% of abortion. So we're going to rally in the red areas and the conservatives and the red base to fight for 6% of abortions. And I submit that's the reason why we had low red turnout in Virginia, for those who are reading into that this was all about one particular issue, that people didn't vote on inflation and grocery prices and gas prices and crime and the border and education, everything else that we're winning on. We lost only because everybody who voted in Virginia was voting on whether or not they could have abortions up to the moment of birth and you have to pay for it with your tax dollars. So yes, we ought to be involved. And my office is working on a new bill to be released this year that will be a broad abortion bill that deals with the Commerce Clause. And the federal government does have authority as it applies to this because Congress oversees the post office congressionally, and all mail-order abortions take place through the post office. Secondly, we have the ability to regulate commerce. Thirdly, we have the ability, obviously, it's our job to make laws that are consistent with the 14th Amendment protection to life without, obviously, right to life without due process being in place. So, yes, Congress should, Congress must, and this is not a partisan event, but I'm a partisan, and we as the Republican Party must be the party of life. We did introduce a bill also, the Tele-Abortion Prevention Act, which says that because as this movement has tried to remove the personal interaction of abortion, to sort of try to sanitize it to where mothers don't know until it's too late the complications that Dr. Francis can speak to much better than I can, the health complications and the risk to them. Of course, mail-order abortions are fatal every time for one person or the two people involved physically in the process. But our Tele-Abortion Prevention Act would say that at a minimum health standards need to be met, that the patient, the mother, would have to have an in-person visit. The physician would have to be present, or the medical practitioner, during the process, and there would have to be a follow-up to at least try to protect mothers' health, at least during this process, while we ought to be working to reduce or to eliminate abortion legally, I believe, as a Congress as well.